Normally you're wearing Fruit of the Loom like type undershirts.
Because it's hot and you wear that under your dress
but
shirt.
like you can see your nipples.
Right now?
No, not now. But
this
like
is
when
the
you're
one
wearing
I wore to the thing. I thought it was like a little upgrade in a white.
Okay, continue on with the story.
Yay Networks.
Hey guys, episode 61. It was Leighton's official first day of kindergarten today. I didn't know how I would be with Lawson. I was like, I'm not going to cry. And then when I dropped him off with the teacher and he was crying and looked at me, then I felt guilty and sad. It's like when you drop him off at daycare for the first time or preschool. And I sat in my car and I cried. Then with Leighton today, when I gave him a big hug, when he was sitting at his desk, it's so cute because they have the little chairs, and I gave him a big hug and told him I loved him. Then I got like teary-eyed. Never want anybody to see me cry, so I just had to hurry up and just walk out of the classroom.
Wow, the Tin Man finally broke down.
I know I did.
And guess what? I didn't cry.
I know, and you're emotional all the time.
I know, I'm too emotional. You know why? I think it's the second child. Like you're just not, like the first one you're very hyper aware and sensitive about, and the second one you're like, I've been through this, not the child. It's like you've been through it. And I was talking to someone else that works at the same place I do. I was talking to, and she's like, how are you feeling? Are you feeling emotional? And I thought she was talking about losing my job. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of getting over it. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, you're talking about the kid. I was like, you're talking about Leighton. I was like, yeah. I'm like, this is going to be good for him because I really do think Leighton needs this. So it's more like, I know he's a little scared. He was a little nervous last night, but he needs it. He needs to be in a structured situation from 8 to 3 or whatever, and not have you bail him out. So this is going to be good for him. So I wasn't emotional. I was more like proud of him. Like, this is something we need to do.
Yes. And I felt secure because I knew the teacher, Leighton's teacher, was Lawson's kindergarten teacher, and I just adore her. I just love her so much. And I knew we walked in, so many people from our neighborhood. It's such a great group of kids, and it made me feel like he wasn't alone.
He had so many familiar faces, which was, I think, different, right, for Lawson, or no?
Yeah, I don't think Lawson didn't know anybody.
He didn't know anybody. So at least
But
Leighton
Lawson's more social.
Right.
That Leighton, if he doesn't know you, he will not talk to you, and he hides behind me. But if he's with Lawson and he knows kids from the neighborhood or friends that we have and their kids, oh my gosh, he's like the Tasmanian devil. He's like,
so that's what
all over the place.
He's a little scared, but he'll grow into it. The teacher's great. The school's great. So, and I just talked to him because they just popped up. I saw him for a second when they just got home, and I just got home from work too. And Lawson said he saw him go in the PE and like waved to him. So that must have made him feel good. Like, hey, my brother's here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know that makes him feel secure.
Yes. And he's very excited. Our next door neighbor has a daughter who is like she's like an angel. And she's so sweet. And she acts so mature for her age. And he's all excited. He can't wait till I don't have to walk him because he's like, oh, she's walking me to my class. And I go, oh, fourth grader,
Yeah.
He feels cool.
Lawson feels a little cool too because I took a little video of him and I was like, oh, look, buddy. But a couple of his friends, I don't know if it was this weekend sometime. I'm like, look, buddy. I'm like, your first day of school. He's like, Dad, put that away. It's embarrassing.
I know.
I'm like, sorry, cool second grader.
I asked him for a picture and he said, Mom, stop. I go, what? He goes, just stop. And yeah, he's changing. And he's so conscious of his clothes. I'm like, you're in second grade. So I got these shorts. It's the Old Navy shorts we bought him. He goes, Mom, those are embarrassing. I go, no, they're not. Those are a nice pair of shorts that we got you. No, he only wants to wear the basketball looking shorts. You're in second grade. How are you aware of what you look like? I don't know. It's a pair of shorts we bought him. Probably.
Yeah, that's why.
Why? Because you have better style?
Yeah.
You're wearing a V-neck right now.
I wore it on purpose.
I knew you were. I saw it. I was going to post a video of you today.
I wore this on purpose.
Okay, do you want to tell everybody what we're talking
No,
about?
you want to tell everybody you shame me in front of the neighbors?
You shame me with my hookah shoes or whatever they're called. Hookahs?
Orthopedics?
Yeah. Go.
What are you looking at?
Go.
Go
you
what?
can tell.
So if you're watching this right now on YouTube, this is how I go to work every single day. My blue pants, or I have blue jeans. Or,
Always.
I have like 5 pairs of blue pants that I wear every day with gym shoes and a white V-neck every single day. I like to keep it simple. I wish I had a uniform, to be honest with you. I wish like my on-air outfit was a blue suit with a white shirt and a blue tie, like every single day. If it was up to me, I'd wear that every single day. But you can't wear white on television. So anyway, so I just get there, I put on a button up, a sport coat, and I change my handkerchief every day. And that's what I do. So last week was Lawson's first day of school. Today was Leighton's first day. And I went to go meet the teacher, and I was going right from there to work. So I was wearing a white V-neck, which, by the way, this isn't like an Italian V-neck down to like my belly button.
This is actually a thicker one. Normally you're wearing like the fruit. Normally you're wearing Fruit of the Loom like type undershirts.
Because it's hot and you wear that under your dress
Yeah, but
shirt.
like you can see your nipples.
Right now?
No, not now. But
This
like
is
when
the
you're
one
wearing
I wore to the thing. I thought it was like a little upgrade in a white.
Okay, continue on with the story.
Yeah, so she's shamed. I didn't know I was going to get shamed. You think anyone in there was like, hey, did you see that guy? He was wearing a white V-neck? I don't think so.
I think your boss even said something when you went somewhere. He goes, don't you have a nicer shirt you could wear?
We were filming something.
Yeah.
We were filming something. He goes, dude, because I wear this white V-neck, like I said, everywhere. And we were going to film something, and I was going to put a shirt on. I was just hot. And he goes, hey, could you put something else on so it doesn't like you look like you're back there cooking pizzas? Because he likes to make it that
Well, I told Jeff, I go, we go to meet the teacher, and you're just like in this Fruit of the Loom.
This isn't Fruit of the
V-neck.
Loom.
I know. I said it wasn't the same one. It's a different one.
This is the same
And your
one.
nipples. You can see your nipples. And I'm like, you're meeting the teacher. And I was like, can you put on a nicer shirt? And all the dads have on nicer shirts. And then Jeff got all like worked up about it.
No,
because you're wearing your undershirt. And I'm like, don't wear that undershirt to go meet the teacher. Put on something nice. You would say something to me if I was wearing you.
I was going to work after.
Who cares? Throw something on, and then when you're in the car, take it off.
It's not that important. What?
Somebody like you always care how you look.
I do, but it's like I was going to work, so what do you want me to do?
I don't know. I just told him he looked sloppy, and I told the neighbors about it. So today, Leighton's first day, Jeff had on a nice shirt, and
I just swapped it out. You know what I did? I put on a blue V-neck shirt.
And he was walking, and I did a video of him. And then I sent it to our neighbors where there's like 7 of us in a group. And I go, look who wore a nicer shirt to drop off today.
Because I got shamed. I got shamed for my white V-neck.
Yeah, and then Jeff shamed on me for my big old shoes that I wear.
People like those hookah shoes.
They're comfortable.
Is that how you say that? H-O-K-A?
I
Hoka?
thought I was saying them wrong.
I don't know. Whatever they are. I guess they're really comfortable. But
They
you do look ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. I don't care how ridiculous I look when you're walking 5 miles. You want so I go for comfort.
Yeah, people like them. And they're not cheap.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break and then we will come back. All right. So I am 8 months into taking my AG1. I actually was on the phone with my mom the other day, and she's got COVID. And I was like, you need to take this AG1. It has all your vitamins. It's got zinc in it. Because you remember, like back in the day when you have COVID, you need vitamin D, zinc, C, all that stuff. So I told my mom, I was like, I'm mailing you some travel packs. Like, you have to take it. It'll make you feel better.
We're spreading the word because it's important to me, our family, and us that the supplements we take are of the highest quality. And that's why I've been taking AG1 for over a year now.
Yeah, you've been taking it over a year now. I've been taking it 8 months. And January, I had the flu. But since taking AG1, I feel like my immune is up. And I take mine for immune support because I need that zinc And I hate taking zinc separately because zinc always makes me so nauseous. And drinking my AG1 like does not make me nauseous at all on an empty stomach.
Yeah, me neither. And it's the first thing I take every single morning on an empty stomach, and it doesn't bother my stomach at all. And just to let you know, it's researched and developed by an in-house team of scientists, doctors, and nutritionists with decades of expertise in their respected field, which makes me feel good. It's not just in my head, it's scientific.
Yeah, this is like top of the line stuff. And speaking of top of the line, the packaging is top of the line. You get the spoon. Anybody that's ordered AG1, the spoon's a jam.
Taking care of myself is important. And the packaging that they send the AG1 in makes you feel important as well.
So if you want to replace your multivitamin and more, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription at drinkag1.com/togetherness. That's drinkag1.com/togetherness. Check it out.
All right, so welcome back. Yeah, Jordan just ripping on me for my style. When it's like a party or something, I'll dress up. I'll look
Speaking
nice.
of style, what about my sweater? Isn't this a jam?
It's a jam.
This is, okay, y'all. I've worn this sweater, I'm not even joking, 2 days in a row. I probably should wash it because I was doing my yard work today with the kids being gone. I went on a walk. I mowed the lawn. I read a book. I did my devotionals today. And then I met a friend for coffee. I'm like, who am I?
What is a devotional?
Like it's Christian, just like reading your books, your Christian books, and it's scripture.
Oh, that's called devotional?
Yeah, your devotional books. But yeah.
So what's a devotional?
It's just like, I don't know. It's just a Christian thing. It just makes me feel better. Like spiritual.
Is it like doing the rosary beads?
I don't know. What does that mean? What do you do?
Like in Catholic, like you do a prayer for each bead. That's like really, if you're getting into it.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but I don't know much about the Catholic religion.
Well, that's what I was asking. What a I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like scripture, and then you read it and you study it.
Oh,
it's just positive. Something. It's something for me. It gets me going. And it's not for everybody. If you're not religious, obviously you wouldn't like it. But for me, it helps me because like I have to try at being positive and like walking today, reading scripture. It just sets, and every time I read it, I always feel like it's speaking to me. Today, the scripture.
I think that's great. I'm not knocking it at all.
Today it was about like going through a storm and like staying positive, just positive stuff. But I know not everybody wants to hear that.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Like, I think we talked about this. I say the same thing every episode. I think we talk about this because we talk about so much on the show and then here. But I don't know why people knock like religion, is something that you could lean to for comfort. People knock that. Now it's all wrapped up in politics for some reason. And if it makes you feel good, whatever you're doing, whether you're Catholic, whatever you are, as long as it's a positive spin on it, what's wrong with it? Why would you knock someone else for trying to better themselves or maybe they have something in their life that you don't know about and they need Jesus or they need a higher being to, cope with whatever they're going through? I don't understand how that is starting to become like a negative thing.
Yeah,
as
I
long
don't
as you're
know.
not pushing it onto somebody.
No,
right?
I never push
like
my
you preach
religion
to somebody.
No, I never push my religion on anybody. For me, like I said, I've grew up going to church, and it's just something that has always helped me. It's not for everybody, but for me, it works. I had a friend text the other day. She listens to this podcast, and she's going through something, and I feel like I can give her good advice. It puts me in a good headspace. And I felt like I gave her good advice, even though I don't know exactly what she's going through because I haven't experienced that yet. But I felt like I could give her good advice because right now, even though I'm going through something that's not great with you, that I'm in a good headspace.
You mean the job?
Yeah, your job. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of interpretations.
Sorry.
Yeah, you better correct that.
We better correct that.
Yeah.
Jeff and I are getting divorced, guys.
No, but it's all about interpretation, right? Like this story, it might not relate to you, that specific story, whether it's from the Bible or whatever, but something might tap into something that you're going through. So it might be about something totally different, but the story itself is up for interpretation, right?
Yeah.
I think the whole Bible is too. I'm not a word for word Bible guy because it's been broken down so many times into like Latin and all these, think about all the languages everywhere. So if you try to break that down into specific wording, it's never going to come through. I mean, even my Italian friends, or if you say something like in Italian, they're like, it doesn't make sense in English, just one language to another. Imagine that, breaking it down 300 times. So I believe in the Bible itself, but the word for word scripture, I'm more into interpreting the stories that work for me.
Yeah, like
Does that
for
make sense?
Jeff, like me, I'm more Bible. And then
Right.
I feel like for you, it's more reading books like Dr. Della Toro, Tony Robbins,
Right.
things like that. Or you have a bunch. I feel like all your books are about
All of
like
them.
your mind and positive thinking
Yeah.
and things like that. But for me, and I've said this before, I don't know why. There is a guy, his name is Jesse Seltzer, I believe. His wife is Sarah. She started Spanx, and he is a positive motivational speaker. He speaks to me, and I think it's because he's this billionaire, but he's wearing jerseys and doesn't look like a Tony Robbins. Like Tony Robbins to me is polished looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy Jesse's running all these miles and rough around the edges a little bit, but what he says, I really relate to him and his wife a lot. But with Tony Robbins, it doesn't do it for me. Because I remember one time you gave me a book to read, and I read like a couple pages and I was like, I'm not interested at all in this. But when you find something, like you were saying, that works for you, then it resonates with you.
Yeah, it's like anything. I mean, if you read one book on positivity, it might not be the person for you. Just like, what was I going to say? If like a therapist, you might not believe in therapy because one person you talked to was a quack, but you don't know there might be some really good stuff that you're not finding without therapy. And then you just knock the whole thing because you only tried it once. There are so many inspirational people out there, but you got to find the one that works for you. I like Tony Robbins because he's kind of rough around the edges.
Yeah.
For me, excuse my language, but he's kind of like, get up and fucking do it.
Right.
Quit being a pussy and go do it. Sorry about my language. But I need to be talked to like that. I don't need the like, hey, love one another and then you'll find love in yourself. I don't buy into that. I buy into get up. The answer is in you. Now go find it. And I know it's in you and go get it. I'm more into that.
And see, I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But it's not wrong or right. You just find somebody that works for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like these 8 months of just like working on myself and trying to be healthier, trying to be more positive, trying to just be like a better friend, a better mom, a better wife has really helped. And me, like thinking about drinking, I don't even miss it. Like, I don't even think about it, to be honest. And before, I was drinking like 4 days a week, and like the summertime, I love patio drinks. And today I went to a brunch with some friends, and everybody had cocktails.
They did?
Yeah, everybody had cocktails. And then I just got a Coke, and I just don't like the way it makes me feel. And I'm not saying I'm never going to have a drink again. Right now I'm saying New Year's, I'll toast to myself for sticking with my goals, for continuing to be better. And I said I would have like a drink and toast myself. But then kind of when I think about it, I'm like, I don't even want it.
Because
Like,
you feel good in your mind's
I do. I feel good. I don't miss being hungover.
panic attacks.
My panic attacks are down. But I mean, this is weird. I was in the post office and the line was out the door. And again, I've talked about this over and over again, and I feel like I repeat myself, like you said, but I never grew up with anxiety, panic attacks, anything like that. So this is something that I'm really like working through. This is something that like has only been like 4 years in, and it's so new to me, and I'm trying to like get rid of it, and I'm trying to get in my mind like, okay, you never had anxiety before, but somehow you've tapped into it and you don't know how to turn it off. And that's like something I'm trying to do. But anyways, I was telling my doctor this. I was at the post office and I was mailing my grandparents some packages. Perfectly fine when I got there. In the middle of the line, I don't know why. I got hot, cold and clammy. It just overcame me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am having a panic attack. And I'm sitting in there and I have this medicine that I take. It's only for emergencies if I am having like a really bad panic attack. And I told myself, I was like, you are going to stick this out. And like I said, I was telling my doctor, I was like, you'd be so proud of me. I stood there with my package. I focused on one thing. I focused on my breathing. It wasn't obvious that I was having a panic attack. And I get like sweaty, you know, I get hot and sweaty and you feel like you're dying. And I was like, you are not taking your medicine. I focused on something. I focused on my breathing. I was like, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is going to happen to you. And I worked my way through it. And I didn't take it. Then I came home because panic attacks kind of drain me. I'll get kind of tired. And I know a lot of it is stress because I've just been like stressed out. And when I get stressed, I sleep a lot. And that's kind of how I cope. You know, people want to eat more. Yeah. Me, I just want to sleep. And I came home, got outside, sat outside with the sun on my face for 15 minutes. And that's what I do. And I breathe. And then I was like, oh, I feel so much better. And a couple days later, same exact thing happened to me in the grocery store. Perfectly fine going in the grocery store. And all of a sudden it hit me out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, I just want to take my groceries away. And I felt panicky. And I told myself again, I go, you are not reaching for that medicine. You are not going to take your medicine. You are going to fight through this. And I did. And when we were going to Mexico, when I got on the plane, I felt closed in and we were with all of our friends and I felt panicky. And I was like, you're not taking your medicine. And the whole time in Mexico, I didn't take my medicine. I didn't take it at all. And I'm completely off all my antidepressants. I'm off everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I was telling my doctor that. I was like, you would be very proud of me. Because before, and I do carry that medicine with me on.
It might be like a little security.
It's kind of a security thing, but I don't want to be stuck.
Yeah.
With that.
No, that's good. And again, people deal with that differently. It's going what we just talked about. Right. You got to find out what works for you.
Right.
And then you attack it that way.
Right. But like today, I feel great because like I said, when you're having an anxiety, you don't want to be, for me, I'll speak for myself. I don't want to be around people at all. And when I'm on my antidepressants, I'm more social. When I am off my antidepressants, I'm not as social because it gives me anxiety being around a group of people. Even though we do this podcast and we're talking to a bunch of people, I've been on reality shows where it's thousands of people watching you, but it's something that I struggle with, that I'm trying to work my way through it, where I don't take my medicine, where I don't, I'm like, you did it all these years. You've done so many hard things. You've been nervous. You put yourself in uncomfortable situations and you never had a panic attack or anxiety before. But I somehow, and I think a lot of it too has to do with kids. I worry about the kids all the time. Yeah. And I think that a lot of stress with that, but I know I'm starting to get these panic attacks because I am a little stressed because we're coming to an end with you.
Of an era.
Yeah. And so you feel that way. And I do get in my head. We probably need to take a break.
I'm going to have a panic attack.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
Welcome back. Okay. So
do that again.
Okay.
Josh was laughing.
Welcome back. So our friend this was like the third celebration for his 50th birthday.
It's the same guy we went to Mexico for.
Yes. We got to have him on. It would be so funny to have him on. He's the most chill person. Anyways, his wife threw him a party and he was so mad that she threw him a third party. But 50th is big, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And there were probably, how many people would you say at their house?
I don't know, 50?
50, 70 people.
Including kids, yeah.
And she had live music out. It was totally fitting for them. Mexican food. And, okay, So we get the karaoke machine out. This is probably, I would say, 10:30 at night. And where their house is, there's houses behind them, houses to the side of them. They're kind of surrounded by houses because they're in this cul-de-sac. It's not like our house where we just have someone to one side of us. We kind of have an open space. So if we are loud late at night, cops aren't getting called to our house.
Well, both of our neighbors are
Partying
probably
with us.
Yeah. And then we back up to a street. So we could be as loud as we want.
Right.
Pretty much. Sure.
And no one really cares. So I have the kids, I'm not drinking, and I realize, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's midnight. It was probably bad admitting though, it's midnight. The kids were just having the time of their life. It was so many kids. Everybody was having a good time. And I was like, we have to go home. So I told Jeff, I go, you can stay. You got the golf cart. I'm taking the kids. We're leaving. And as I'm walking down their driveway, this car pulls up really fast. So I'm yelling at the kids, get over. It's dark. This car would not see you guys. And I put the kids in the car. Well, this car pulls up in front of their driveway and this guy gets out. Well, I was thinking it was one of the moms there. I was thinking it was her husband coming to get her to tell her to go home. Okay. But then I hear, I wish you guys would just shut up. Something like that. And I go, oh. So I put the kids in the car and I was like, I need to see what's going on. This is some drama in the neighborhood. I love some gossip. So one of my friends who I gave a ride home to, she pulled her phone out and started recording the whole thing. And then I will let you take it.
I'm in it.
Yeah, Jeff's involved.
Well, here, let me take it back just a little bit. So, we were getting after it. It was a 50-year-old birthday party, but
we were singing Alanis Morissette.
25-year-old birthday party. Yeah, the karaoke, the entertainer guy left, who was great, by the way. And someone brought over a karaoke machine. And then after a couple drinks, I just start ripping it up. So we were loud. We were definitely loud. It was late. So understandable, right? But the way that situation went down, maybe we have to be a little bit more grown up on that end. And I don't want to say any names because actually I don't even know the person's name, but it does kind of have a sweet ending. But so the guy pulls up, obviously fired up. We were very loud and he gets out. And so some people had too much to drink. And I'm more in the stage of my life because I'm 46 and you should be, diffuse the situation.
Right.
I've learned you could diffuse any situation.
Right.
I really believe that. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to come to fighting, and nobody should be fighting at all at any age, but especially in your 40s and 50s.
This guy was in his 60s.
So this guy was fired up. So I'm like, listen, guy, and he didn't have any shoes on, so he wasn't even. It wouldn't have been a great fight for him anyway. But I didn't feel bad. But I'm like, listen, buddy, you're exactly right. We're going to start shutting it down. Let's close up shop. Then some people behind me start getting a little more aggressive. I'm like, listen, man, you just go. You got to get out of here. Like, I swear, we are loud. You're exactly right.
Right.
Let's shut this down. Right.
Right.
Let's shut this down. So he did. He left, but he left there was a lot of cars because it's in a cul-de-sac. So people were still there with their golf carts or whatever it was, right? There's cars parked around their neighbors. And someone thought he ran into their car, the neighbors down the street.
Right.
So at this point, all the neighbors start running down, chasing the car. And I'm like, drinks were getting thrown up in the air, like running and throwing the drink up in the air. I was like, what am I doing? Am I in the movie She's All That? Like, what is happening? This high school party. So I'm like, well, I tried. And then one of our friends is yelling at his wife. He's like, get over here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Get back and sit down over here. You're gone at this point, right?
I saw all that and then I was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm leaving.
So I don't know what happened down there. Well, anyway, I didn't go down there. And right after that, I'm like, well, that's it for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I think it's time to go. So I go to get my golf cart. And while I'm pulling out of the golf cart, a cop pulls in. And I was like a little kid. I was like, like I got away. Like, there's a high school party and the cops come and you run out the back door and you're like, oh my God, did Mimo make it?
But the funniest part is the cop came and then he realized it was a 50-year-old birthday party and everybody was having fun. And he was really nice, my friend said. And then he sees on our Cabo trip, we had Tyler come, and we always say Tyler's our child. He's the bartender in our neighborhood, and he and everybody loves Tyler. And this cop is like patrols our neighborhood. And he goes, "Is that Tyler?" And then my friend's like, "Get over here, Tyler," to like diffuse the situation. Then Tyler's like, "Oh, but that's the funniest part, just because it's Tyler, you know?" And so the cop is like, "Listen, just close it down." And
It was probably a good thing. It was probably a good thing. But tell the sweet part how it ended.
Okay, so Sunday, my friend texts me and's like, sees that guy on her camera, and she made her husband go to the door. She's like, "I'm not
So
talking
he
to
comes
this guy."
over. This was Friday night. He comes over on Sunday.
He comes over on Sunday and but this is good. It rings their doorbell. She sees him on their camera and she's like, "I'm not getting it. You're getting the door." And her husband came and he brought them a card with a $50 gift card and told him he was sorry and like he overreacted. And yeah. And so that's
how you handle an adult situation.
I'm sure his wife was like, "What are you doing going over there barefoot yelling at everyone?"
Oh, he was fired up, obviously,
pretty.
but we were loud. So, and we probably shouldn't be rocking that late for 50 years old, but whatever, you got to have some fun. But I like the way it ended. People obviously got a little hot, but it didn't get super dramatic. And then it ended real sweet. Takes a lot for someone to like buck up and say, "You know what,
Hey,
I was
I'm
wrong,
sorry.
and I'm sorry about that." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't know who this guy is, but I'd give him a hug if I saw him.
Yeah. And then, it happens every so often. This isn't like an every weekend night. People are partying like that. It was a 50-year-old birthday.
Yeah.
So that, and then we had another, are we taking a break or we?
You want to, we'll take a quick break and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Welcome back. So then we have another birthday party, and this is like on our street, and it's our neighbor's son's 4-year-old birthday party, and the weather was not great. It was raining, and I feel like it was perfect, just like how all of us neighbors are on our street. We had a tent. The wind's blowing. Everybody's kind of holding the tent.
This was a 4-year-old birthday party now.
Yes.
We were from 50 to 4.
But now we're on our street, so all of our neighbors, if we stay out late, and also our 62-year-old retired neighbor, that guy said he was 62, and Matt, our 62-year-old retired neighbor is pretty awesome. He's the one partying with us.
Yeah.
And so, okay, our next door neighbor took over our other neighbor's Bluetooth. So so funny.
He's got a different taste in music.
In music, right. So Mark is like, "I'm changing the music up." So we're all sitting around. We were all going to play a game. Incoherent. If you
we never played.
If you have never played that and you're with a group, play Incoherent. It's so fun when you're with a group of people and you will just laugh all night. So we were all supposed to play a game, but our neighbor tapped into the other neighbor's Bluetooth, and all of a sudden we hear doo 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 doo. It's like a circus music.
You didn't do that song, right?
Yeah, it is. Dun, 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 dun. That's like
that
a
song.
circus.
Yeah. You didn't
So-
say it like that.
So the neighbor who's hosting the party is like, "Who changed that? Who did that?" And we're all cracking up, and he thinks it's his kids are doing it.
Yeah.
So he runs inside and checking the iPads, and then he comes back out, and the neighbor goes in and starts playing Backstreet Boys when the first
And then
day.
he goes, "Jeff, you have it because you
Yeah.
put out the."
And we're like,
Backstreet
"No."
Boys." I'm like, "I don't, dude."
So he tells his
But
wife.
I knew who it was the whole time, but that's why we were laughing.
Right. So he tells his wife, "You're doing it. Turn your phone off." And our neighbor, he's like a military guy, so he has no patience for like anything, no nonsense. And so Mark walks away and turns on the wheels on the bus. So then it's like the wheels on the bus, and he's like, "Who is this?" And he's making each and every one of us turn off our phones because he's trying to figure it out. And then our other friend's husband was drunk, and we said it was Mark, and he's like, "I can't believe who's doing this."
And then I kept going, "Dude, it's you." And he's like well after everybody knew, I'm like, "Dude, quit doing that with your phone." He's like, "I swear, dude, it's not me." And I knew it wasn't him, but I kept telling him, and he like for an hour he kept doing it. "Dude, I promise you, it's not me." And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, "Dude, Justin, what are you doing with the music?" He's like, "Dude, it's not me. I promise."
I know. And then his wife is like, we already said who it was, and he just was not catching on at all. And so, I mean, I don't know, like maybe y'all had to be there.
Yeah, I think you had to be there. It was funny because I'm just thinking about how mad,
we ended up not playing the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did play.
He got mad, and we stopped.
It wasn't that big of a deal, but I think you did have to be there because it was raining. We were all under this tent. It's almost like we were camping out there, and it was just pouring rain.
But it's so us in our neighborhood. We got new neighbors. Yeah, go outside.
Go ahead, buddy.
We have new neighbors, and when we first moved on our street in 2020, it was kind of, you know how you have that turnover. It was kids who just graduated high school, and I told Jeff, I said, where are all the kids? We picked the wrong street. There's no kids on our street anymore. All those parents sold their houses, and it's all people around our age now with younger kids. And I think I was counting the other day, I think we have 18 kids now on our street.
Wow.
So it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's exactly like when I grew up. Like summertime's the best time.
It's
yeah.
how I picture, when you picture like a family, you just picture like living in the suburbs, right? Maybe not everybody, but it's exactly what I want, especially in today's day and age with technology. Kids are wrapped up playing video games and stuff, and our kids are always outside. And the weekends, everyone comes out into the cul-de-sac. We have like this little island, and everyone hangs out there. And all the kids play. And I don't know, we're very blessed with everything going on. Like I said, situations could be much, much different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're just going through a little transition, very appreciative of everything we have, our health, our kids, where they're at. So, hopefully we just got to fix a couple things and get it back on track.
Yeah.
But everything else is great.
Yeah. And again, like what you were saying, I feel like I never thought I would move somewhere and really be that close with my neighbors, like how we are.
Yeah.
Like I love my neighbors' kids like my own kids, and they come in. Hey, Jordan, can I get a snack? Sure. And they know where the snacks are, or I don't know, like they just come up and tell me stuff, and it just makes you feel good, and I don't know, I just love it.
We're very blessed.
Yes,
very blessed.
We are. All right. This is kind of a random episode, like it always is. I hope y'all enjoyed. Some of you wrote me, enjoyed Bert here, Jeff's boss. I just love that man. He's so sweet. I love listening to him speak.
He just like scratched the surface of the stories
We're
that he told.
Definitely having him back.
Yeah, and we're gonna have more guests. I know a lot of people are writing in, and they're like, I just like it when it's YouTube, but we're doing 2 shows a week. We're not having on like famous people. I just want to have on people that impact my life, whether it's our friends or our neighbors or people that I'm interested in talking about and sharing more in depth about what our life is like, to share it with you. If we're interviewing some celebrity, which I'm not saying we're not, they don't really know that much about us, and we're kind of just interviewing them because they have a hit song or something. It's like, I'm not that interested in that. I'm more interested in people that impacted my life, whether it's back in high school or mentors or friends that I've had for 30 years or just, I don't know. That's more like it doesn't have to be a celebrity. I just want impactful people that I thought maybe other people would like the story too.
I agree. I personally don't care about celebrities at all. I much would rather have our neighbors on, and they could come on here and share stories.
Laugh,
Yeah. So I know I've gotten a couple DMs from people saying they don't like that we're having guests. But again, we're doing 2 shows a week. We're taking time out of.
We can only tell so many stories about V-necks,
Yeah. And about marriage and everything. But, we always hope to find good. I really want to have, and I'm putting it out there, and you could probably make it happen, Dr. Yoon.
Oh,
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yoon?
Dr. Tony Yoon.
You would see him. He's been on like the Today Show, Good Morning America, all those. He's a holistic plastic surgeon. And I want him on here because I want to talk about you always hear about breast implant illness. And I wanted to talk to him about things like that.
Yeah, he's a great guest. He just came out with the podcast too. So that would be someone. He's in Detroit, Michigan. So that's where his practice is. But he's been on Daily Blast Live 100 times, like not 100 times, but
I want him to take my implants out.
He's a great guy to talk to. Like I said, people that kind of know, that are willing to. I'm more interested in guests like that. So there's some personal aspect to it.
Exactly. Right.
And last thing, the Denver show, if you're here August 22nd, it's sold out, but you could still get tickets virtually. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the 5 DBL hosts are doing a show at the Clayton Hotel, which is in Cherry Creek, close to where I work. And you could tune in virtually. If you want to get tickets, you go to moment.co/comebacktv. Again, it's in my Instagram under, all the emails and stuff. You could get tickets virtually if you want to watch that show. It's August 22nd. If not, totally understand. But we're doing that right now. So trying to piece things together, keep the band together. September 6th is coming around fast. That's my last day of work. So trying to keep the momentum going. If there's something there, hopefully we capitalize on it. If not, like I said, we got to, find some different
their own thing. Yeah. All right. Thank you for continuing to listen, download, subscribe, tag your friends. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. If your kids started school this week, I hope they have a wonderful school year. And we will see y'all in a couple days.
If you party this weekend, keep the music down.
Yeah. Bye.